Hey everyone, over here, welcome back to my channel. We are going to be talking about this foundation today, the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Care and Glow Foundation in shade 335W. Oh my god, that was such a mouthful. So I hope you guys get comfortable and sit back and just see what my experiences were with this foundation. We're going to start by priming my right side of my face. The left side is not going to be primed. We're going to use the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer. One pump is enough for one side of your face. Dot here. I tend to be more in these areas for hydration. And I promise you I'm not being this rough. It just looks like it because the way I have to hold my hand. All right, that feels nice. And then this side will stay unprimed, like I said. And the foundation we're going to be demonstrating right now is the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear Care and Glow in the shade 335W. And this is what it looks like. Hopefully it focuses. And it says to shake before using on the packaging, so I'm going to give it a little shake. And it has a pump. I was about to put it on my hand, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna put it directly on the brush because I don't want to get anything dirty. I'm gonna use today the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki, the F80. I've used this brush plenty of times on my channel. So we're gonna start out with just one pump, and one pump gives you quite a lot. And it's kind of a thick, it's not a runny consistency after you shake it up. Oh, sorry, I gotta grab my arm. And we're just gonna dot this on and then buff it in right away. Just making sure I'm getting the areas. That's why I'm tapping, because the areas that still look red means to me that I don't have foundation on. And that is just one application, and that actually looks like it covered most of my skin. Like you could, like my skin is peeking through, which I think is what the point of this foundation is. So I'm going to put, for the sake of the video, I'm going to put another pump on to see how much the coverage is, you know, the buildable coverage is. So another full pump. I usually don't put this much foundation on my face, but like I said, for the sake of the video, we're gonna put another layer just to see how it looks when you put two layers on. If you hear any noises, that's just somewhere in my apartment or outside. I can't tell. So please excuse if you hear any noises. And that is two pumps. So that pretty much covered everything. I still feel like it's might be a little bit over my eyebrows a little. Let me just blend that in a little better. Or maybe it's just the lighting, but it looks very dewy. But immediately what I'm not liking, it seems to be settling right in here, and I don't have that problem typically when I put on any foundation, so not liking that already. But we're gonna do the side of the face with a sponge just to see how the application is. But that is it right there. It looks like skin right now. It's looking good except for the settling into that line right there. So we're gonna use a beauty blender, one full pump on the bottom, so you can see. I don't know if I showed the color before. Right there. And let's do, get the forehead. Can't forget the forehead. And let's blend this in. Let me know in the comments, what is your preference? Do you prefer to do a sponge for your foundation application or a brush? I'm always curious as to know what people prefer. I don't have a preference. I think it just depends on the coverage I want or the formulation of the foundation. Because I find some foundations work better with a sponge and some work better with a brush. So that is one pump with the sponge. And I think the sponge application made it look a little more matte. Maybe it's because, you know, sponges tend to soak up more of the product. but I think I got more coverage with the sponge than with the brush, in my opinion. So I'm gonna do another application since we did 2 here, just for the wear test, you know, to make things even, you know. So I'm gonna put a little bit more here and a little bit more here, because I tend to need more foundation on these areas. Right there, this spot on my head, I don't know if it's because of the hair that I have there, and on my cheeks is where I tend to need a little bit more. But right now, this foundation doesn't feel like I have anything on my face, which is good, because I don't want to feel like I'm wearing makeup. But that's it right there. That's the second application, and it really covered very well. I could see how on this side my skin is peeking through a little bit, but on this side I feel like the sponge gave you more of a full coverage. With 2 applications, with 1 application, I feel like it looked like your skin, you know, like flawless skin, and with 2 it just really intensified it, but it still looks natural. And on this side of my face, like I said, I'm getting that creasing there, I'm not liking that, but it's peeking through. I'm not going to go and add more because we're going to wear this foundation for a couple of hours and see how it plays out with my skin. I have dry skin, for those of you who don't know, so let's show you that again. So this is the brush side with 2 applications, and this is the sponge side with 2 applications. So I will be back in a couple of hours and we will see how it wears. Okay everyone, so I got up really close so you can see this. It's only been 2 hours since I've been wearing this foundation, and let me tell you something, it has been itching the entire time it's been on my face. Do you know how hard it is to not scratch when you're itching? But yeah, it's been itching. And I want you guys to see, I have nothing else on my face. I didn't put concealer, anything like that. So it's actually creasing here, which I find interesting because I did not apply makeup here. And my laugh lines are really, really pronounced. This never happens. And if you look along my chin, creasing, creasing, creasing. It's creasing on this side too. And I don't know if you noticed, but for some reason on my cheeks, it's really oxidized. Like it's gotten a lot darker here. I mean, it's oxidized everywhere, but it's, for me, it's really pronounced in my cheek area. And it's already, look, it's faded right here. And on my chin, it looks very ashy. It's still there, and it still feels very tacky, even though it's been 2 hours. And it's faded a little bit here. So primer did help it, but the side with no primer, it's literally gone. Like there's nothing here. This is just my skin. But I don't like the creasing. It's itching and more creasing here. So I'm not liking how this foundation is wearing, and I'm gonna get a little closer so you can see. Can you see how much texture my face has? Like my skin does not look like this, and look, it's faded here as well. But you see how bad my skin looks? Like it looks really bad. I mean, in my nose, I expect it to go away because I wear glasses. That's not, but this is like really, really bad, because it'll come off a little on my glasses with other foundations I've tried, but never like this. This is really, 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 really bad. But you see, completely gone. And the texture of my skin, you see, faded here. It's really, really bad. So I'm not liking this foundation, but I will be back to give you my final roundup of everything with this foundation. Okay everyone, so let's break it down. My thoughts on this foundation, the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Care and Glow Foundation in shade 335W. So this is a medium with warm golden undertones. That's what it's described on the Sephora website. $47 for 1 ounce or 30 milliliters. And they have a total of 30 shades on the Sephora site. It claims to have a natural finish. It's a liquid formula, medium coverage. It has hyaluronic acid in it that provides, it's hydrating and best for oily, combo, and normal skin. It definitely has a natural finish when you put it on. I think I put the bottle down now. It's definitely a liquid formula, and I agree, it does have a medium coverage, and it is buildable. And hyaluronic acid is supposed to be very good for the skin. I don't really use it much, so I can't claim that it is, but I've heard other people say that it's really good on their skin. I wouldn't say, from my experience, that it was hydrating, because I felt that with time, it really started to just make my skin look really, really dry. If you see In the demo, I looked like I had a lot of texture, and my face was like getting dehydrated minute by minute of wearing it. And I definitely agree that this foundation is going to be better for someone who has oily, combo, or normal skin. I cannot recommend this foundation to anyone who has dry skin, because I have dry skin and my skin was looking hella dry afterwards, textured. It was a hot mess wearing this foundation. It did not work for me at all. Saying was hella dry on my skin. So it caused a lot of creasing everywhere. It felt very heavy on my face too. It did not feel lightweight. And the other thing that was heavy was fragrance. Oh my God, I kept like saying, what is that smell? It's the foundation. Do not like the smell. I don't want fragrance in my foundation. I don't want to smell like anything. I want it to just go on and not have a persistent smell in my nose, you know, especially where I'm more sensitive to scents now. Like I said previously, I will not recommend this if you have dry skin. It just, don't do it, girl. Don't do it. It did not even last past 2 hours. After 2 hours, it was severely fading on me. Like, I'm not wearing it right now because I had to take it off. My skin could not handle it. It was itching so bad. So something in it was making my face really itchy. But when I first put it on, it looked great. It was dewy and natural. I was like, oh, this looks really nice. You know, it was a nice, you could build it up where one layer and it looked nice. And then a second layer, it didn't look cakey. But like I said, after 2 hours, it was fading. It looked very gray in this area, mad creasing all over my face, like, and my skin looked so textured. I just couldn't get over how textured it looked, and I was like, this looks terrible. If I wasn't doing a video, I would have actually taken this off after an hour wearing it, but since I was doing the review, I wanted to wear it as long as possible. So this is definitely going back, okay? And my face felt tight too after wearing it, because it was literally, like I mentioned before, sucking the moisture out of my face. So I do not recommend this for dry skin. I'm gonna say that again. But let's read some facts from the Sephora website. It says that it is a 24-hour transfer resistant, healthy looking glow serum foundation with buildable medium coverage and SPF 27, plus hyaluronic acid and mandelic acids to hydrate and smooth skin for a natural looking glow finish. I do not agree with that about being 24 hours, because after 2 hours, it was coming off my face. I don't know about other people, and I did set it the way I set all my foundations with a setting spray. It still did not last 24 hours. It didn't even last past 2 hours, so I don't agree with that claim. It has a medium coverage. I agree with that. It is medium coverage and you can build it up, so that's good. Another good thing about it. It did look very natural in the beginning. Like I said, it's liquid formulation and it does have SPF in it, which is good because we should be wearing SPF on a daily, so that's important. And then the highlighted ingredients are hyaluronic acid, which hydrates and visibly plumps the skin, and mandelic acid, which smooths and refines the skin. Whew. After saying all that, only thing I have to say I like about it is the packaging. I think the packaging is really, really nice. It's very sleek and very minimal. And when I look at it, it makes me feel like, you know, think about spring and summer. So I really do like the packaging. I like that it comes with a pump, because the pump is very handy. I don't think this is travel friendly, honestly, because it's glass. I'm afraid that it could break. So be cautious about that, or just, if you do like this foundation, put it in another container so that you don't have to worry about it, you know, breaking en route and traveling or whatever. But this is definitely going back to Sephora. I was really excited because of the videos that I watched. Some people said it was so good and all, you know, like it was great and it's natural glow. And some people said it was also good for, like, if you have dry skin, if you have mature skin. I don't know. I have dry skin, and I'm technically considered mature skin because I'm 49 years old. And that's not what happened for me. It did the opposite. It made my skin look really, really bad. I did not like it, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't wait to take it off. It was just so itchy. So yeah, I cannot recommend this if you have dry skin, especially have sensitive skin. And usually foundations, they have skincare in it. I don't know why with my skin, it never works for me. It doesn't work because years ago when I reviewed the Becca one, it did the same thing to me. So with that being said, this did not work for me. This was a fail, and I'm sorry to do that. I don't like to post videos saying things are failed, but I'm being honest. This foundation didn't work for me. I can't recommend it to those who have dry skin. So let me know in the comments if you have tried this foundation and if it worked for you, you know, what your experience was. I'm curious to know, because for me, it did not work. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in another one. Bye.